Hi everyone, welcome back. So my name is Rosie, it's my husband Jeremy. I keep doing this every single week. We're doing a 200-hour yoga teacher training. All the other episodes are on my channel, so you can go and watch them. This is weekend 10. Weekend 10, oh my god, we finish next week. Next week is last week. So this is Sunday today. We didn't talk yesterday because we had a photo shoot actually in the evening afterwards. So we kind of had to put all our yoga stuff away, get rid of the photo shoot and do that. So I didn't talk to you yesterday, so I'm going to kind of cover yesterday and today in this video and try not to make it an hour long like we did last week's video. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. We talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So yesterday we started off talking about the plans after the programme and in terms of additional learning, in terms of teaching and what people want to do, which is quite nice to see because I feel like even if, 20 people all do the same program, we all kind of have different ideas of what we want to do. So I want to travel and teach it on YouTube. Other people maybe want to teach in the schools or do privates, or one person wants to help autistic people, helping children, like all different kind of aspects of yoga. So it's really nice to kind of talk about that. Then we got into it and did some Kundalini yoga, which I really didn't enjoy. And you had a funny experience because you did. So Warrior Flow, the people that we're training with, the yoga teacher training with, they'd have an online platform called warriorflowtv.com.
Warriorflow.tv.
Warriorflow.tv. I'll leave it linked below if I remember. I always say that. If I remember, it'll be down below. So warriorflow.tv, and it's about, how much is it per month?
$19.99, $20 a month.
So $20 a month, and you can get access to lots of different fitness people, yoga people, meditation, lots of different things basically. And so a couple of months ago, you tried Kundalini yoga from there.
Yeah,
and
well, it was last year at the beginning of the pandemic. The platform didn't even exist yet.
And you stopped like halfway. You were like, no, I was videoing you, and I was dying of laughter.
Yeah, as soon as I think the teacher was a she. I think it was a woman, and she started like singing and chanting. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm done.
So we did Kundalini yoga, and before you even started, Joe was like, oh no, this is gonna be shit. Fucking hate this. And then started, and you actually enjoyed it, and I really didn't enjoy it. I think we got a time lapse. I'll pop it there if we did. But it was a lot of like twisting and breath work. It was like like that kind of thing,
yeah.
Which I'm not in. I'm realizing more and more the more we do this yoga that like I enjoy slow restorative nap yoga.
The more you learn, the less you want to do.
No, it's not that. No, I enjoy doing different things, but the more I learn, the more I realise that I enjoy like bells and smells and soft.
Nothing physical.
No, I like a bit of physical in the middle because I quite liked Ashtanga, how the flow of that. I liked how fast the Ashtanga, like the flow A and B were. So I do like a bit of movement, but I don't like just sitting in one place and like that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. You enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I didn't at the beginning, but I didn't enjoy the class by itself. I didn't enjoy the movement, but I enjoyed the feeling after. I thought it was actually really relieving.
Relieving?
Yeah, like on the spine and the upper body. So I enjoyed the feeling. I can't say I enjoyed the movement, but yeah, I enjoyed the purpose and the
I
thing
just
at the
felt
end.
like I was hyperventilating. I felt like I was getting dizzy. I just didn't enjoy it. I thought it's just not my thing. Anyway, we did that. And then we had a guest speaker, Anne Hurley, talk about alcohol and drug abuse. Addictions, yeah, sorry. And you're going to have to help me with this. I'll remember when you start talking. I've written it down because I was like, I know I'm going to forget. And I've forgotten this morning already. What did she say about alcohol and drug addictions with yoga?
Well, to make it quick, she was saying that addiction is not a willpower issue. That is linked to the brain and the nervous system and like the release of dopamine and that you like chemically get addicted, and it's not just willpower. Something
she said before I forget is that she said that you get high and then your body kind of gets used to being this high, and then to feel that good again you have to have more, and then you have to have more. So people like kind of maybe start on marijuana and then that feels good, and then no longer they have that high feeling.
The body get a tolerance on it.
Yeah, so they have to get something a little bit stronger to be able to reach that high again, and then stronger to reach that high again. And she was saying it's the same with drug and alcohol, but also sex and food and
Gambling.
shopping and gambling and other things can be addictive as well. Sorry, carry on.
And then it was about how we can use yoga to help with that. Well, in a sense, that some yoga flow are gonna help to like calm the nervous system and relax the body. So it's not like a solution. It's not like a complement to like a normal traditional like therapy. How it can help to like reconnect with the body and like relax the nervous system. So it was about like controlling also when you feel the urge of drinking, taking drug, gambling, whatever it is. Having some like grounding or centering poses or tools basically to when you have this urge coming to like try not to go for it and I use like meditation, yoga to feel better. So it's more about like getting tools. Also like when you have a low, you do some energetic movement so you feel better, stuff like that.
I'm really looking forward to, after this finishes this weekend, this training, to going back and reading all the manuals, because things like that, I feel like, did you have a slideshow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like going through the slideshow would then remind me of everything she says. But because it's, like I said before, it's just a lot of information thrown at you for a weekend, and then it's just like, oh my god, I have no idea what's happened. So I think, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, in a month or two, to go through and look at all the presentations we've been given and look at all the information. Because I don't take notes either, because if I take notes, I end up not listening, and I'd rather listen.
Oh, I did actually.
Oh, you did, yeah.
It would have helped.
That have helped, yeah. So I don't take notes, so I don't really have a lot of like information I can go back and look on apart from their slides. It'd be good to do that, I think, in a couple of weeks and just probably even next week before the exam. So that, and then we spoke with Juliana, who was talking about mental health and yoga. A couple of notes I wrote down here is to focus the point away from the body. So a lot of the times with, I think
it was about depression.
Yeah, sorry, it was about depression and anxiety in particular. She talked to us a little bit about her experience and also about what happens in the body chemically and things like that. So a couple of things that I wrote down is with Ashtanga yoga, you kind of focus the drishti, I think it's called, like inside and like focus on yourself. Where she was saying that if you're depressed, the last thing you want to do is focus on yourself. You want to focus on anything other than yourself because you're so in your head anyway. So to get out of your body and to get out of your brain. Another thing was to do open heart poses, because obviously when people are depressed, they're quite closed and sad and protecting themselves. So to open up their chest is quite important for people with depression. Do grounding movements so that people feel grounded and connected and not kind of away somewhere. Oh, about feeling the mat, so feel things. So can you feel the mat below you? Can you feel the clothes that you're wearing? Can you feel whatever it is, like touch things to bring people back into their body as well? And also, that people sometimes disassociate from their body when they're depressed or have anxiety, so to bring them back into their body. But yeah, no, it was that made no sense, did it really? Just be reading out bullet points. That's exciting! You can do a better job. Go on, what's your talk about?
She was explaining that when you're depressed or anxious, you have this sense of like heaviness or sadness or stress or emptiness. And again, yoga can be used as a complement than traditional therapy to just, rather than being in bed the whole day and being curled up and sad, like that can be a way to connect with your body, get some movement, open up. So she was insisting also on the wording, on the vocab, and do poses that you're not gonna do like a forward fold or hug your knees because you're already like all in yourself. So the idea is to open up and move and feel better by yourself. So yeah,
it's interesting as well though, because I was depressed a couple of years ago pretty badly, and she was kind of talking about different people and like getting out of bed before you got home at 6 p.m. was like an accomplishment. It was like, okay, it's 4 p.m. I need to get out of bed at some time. Okay, it's now 5 p.m. It's going to be home in 5 minutes. I need to get out of bed. So if people are like deep depression, how would you get them to even start yoga? And I feel like having I didn't give a shit about anything. I didn't want to do anything. So it's...
No, but she was saying, I mean, this is not like the thing you're gonna do. When she was saying that it's a tool that you can use when you feel you're gonna get depressed. I mean, yeah, when you're down to the into the hole, like you need medication or traditional therapy or whatever. But then once you get back on track, or if you have like chronic disorder and you know you can feel going, so that's a tool to bring you back out of the hole or stuff like that.
It was interesting as well what she was saying about medication, because she said it a few times that if you had heart disease or high blood pressure or whatever it is, you would take medication to help with that. Whereas mental health is so unknown and still so taboo that a lot of people who suffer with depression and anxiety don't get the help that they need. And it kind of got me on a personal level there, because I remember when I was depressed, people mentioned it to me and I was like, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to get addicted. Like, I thought I'd get addicted and wouldn't be able to get off them, or I'd be on them forever. I don't know how true that is, I don't know, but I was just like, no, I'm going to do this naturally, whatever that means. I mean, just didn't want to do it. And then also somebody that I know mentioned about going on antidepressants, and I kind of said, I don't know if that's a good thing, because, you know, you don't want to rely on them. And now thinking back, maybe I should have said, well, you know, if it was any other disease, you would get treatment for it. So yes, of course, you should do that. And it's hard because she had very strong views about if you have mental health issues, take the medication. And obviously, there's other people that say don't take the medication. So it's hard to get like a real neutral standpoint, I guess, opinion from somebody who actually, like a doctor who knows everything. Does that make sense?
The problem is that, and she said that as well, we know very little about it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know too much. Like, it's hard to compare it with like physical things, because, you know, like when you have a broken leg, or when you have like a sore, like a ache somewhere, or when you have a heart disease, like, you can pinpoint it. And you know that if you take this drug, it's going to make your blood more fluid, so it's going to, you know, it's really like, this is it.
Yeah.
When it comes to the brain, like, we know so little, and it's all like biochemistry in the body and everything, and
everyone's brains work differently as well.
Yeah, and also like a pill might change this chemical, so you might feel happier, but it's going to influence other things. So it's harder to. It's not as easy as like if I take a painkiller, I'm not going to have a headache anymore, or if I take a pill to have a blood like more fluid, it's going to do that. It's like when you go into the brain, you might feel better, but maybe other things are going to help you, and we are less in control. So it's, I don't know, it's not. I don't think it's that easy.
I also heard that antidepressants and things make people more suicidal, because I guess their lows are lower. I don't know enough about it, but it was just interesting how she was so like such a firm believer, and I've never really heard somebody talk so strongly about being pro antidepressants. Well. Yeah. She's been on it for years, probably 10 years or something, and she says she's always going to be on it. And I feel like a lot of the time when we hear about antidepressants, there is stigma in terms of, they're not strong enough to do it naturally, so they have to rely on antidepressants. There's that stigma as well, but there's also the struggle of getting addicted, not knowing, the numbness, and not like losing part of your personality, like not quite being yourself, because you're not being super happy, but you're also not being super sad. You kind of kept it more of a level playing field, which I guess is good for some people. Like, it's just, there's not enough that I know about it, but it was just interesting for her to talk about so strongly. If you have depression or generalised anxiety disorder, you should take medication to deal with it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if it's good or bad, I don't know. I just found that interesting that she was so pro medication. And then we finished off, is there anything else to say about that? And then we finished off the practice doing a standing meditation. That's all I wrote down. I don't remember what happened.
No, I mean, not much about it.
My memory is so awful.
Did a standing meditation.
I don't think I enjoyed it though, but I don't remember. I think
it was. I
don't think I enjoyed it.
It was like a body scan, and some breath of joy at the end.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the breath of joy. Yeah. Okay, and then today, first of all, you were like asleep until 8:25. And we start at 8:30. So you rolled out of bed, you were like, I'm so asleep. And I woke up from a bad dream at like 7:25.
An hour less, because it's
the time change.
Daylight saving time today. So.
And I woke up to an awful dream. So I was like wide awake and chirpy. For a change, we were swapped. Usually it's like you're wide awake and I'm like, ugh.
Focus.
Anyway, so we started talking about meditation with Dennis for 4 hours. Jeremy.
Seriously. You're the one who wants to do this video, but you want me to talk every time. When I don't want to be there.
Because then I can watch these back.
I don't even want to be here.
And then I can watch these back and remember what we talk about. I don't even remember now, and it was this morning.
Oh god, yeah, we talked.
I remember when you tell me, and I'm like,
We talked and did meditation. So.
But what did you tell us about meditation?
Dennis is a meditation teacher, and he was a monk and everything. And if she remembers, she might put the podcast episode down
we
there.
interviewed him for the podcast. It might be linked. It might not be.
Yeah, we talked about the history of meditation, the potential benefit of meditation. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
I'll be honest, the beginning, middle bit, I was a little bit lost. And then when he talked about, whatever he talked about.
There's a bit that you enjoyed, I don't know why it is, there's a bit that you, was it a break, maybe? Yeah.
No, to be rude. There was the bit where it was, well, we was talking about like...
that part was good.
Come on, what did you talk about? Help me out here.
Well, I mean, in detail?
Yeah, just a bit more detail, yeah.
Well, he started with explaining how he got into meditation, and he's passed about. So that took about an hour. He started like teaching. He started learning and getting books and learning about the history as a yoga teacher. And where he was a yoga teacher, because he was called Buddha Boy, some people asked him.
No, he was in a 12-step program, he said.
Yeah, but it was something about meditation, I think.
Oh, and then he was there on this program thing at a retreat or something, and they said, hey, you know about meditation, can you teach? And he was like, ooh, he'd only been studying it for 6 months, decided to teach it and actually enjoyed it, and then carried on from there. Yeah,
so then eventually became a monk
spent 2 years in a monastery.
Yeah, in Canada. So he really dove into the whole Buddhist tradition.
Yeah.
He created a company to the retreat, whatever. So he went like on his personal path, and then he was about really like what are the benefits of meditation, about being grounded and stuff like that.
He said as well about having a clear vision, didn't he?
Yeah, it's about like getting clarity, and it's like meditation have this there's the cliche of meditation that you still have about I need to sit down in a specific way and have no thoughts, and I need to like blank out and be in this like bliss moment and be relaxed, and if I think then I'm not good at meditation, I'm failing at it. So yeah, well, it's just saying that it's a practice first that you need to build, and you're not gonna get it the first day, and even after years of practice, you don't just blank out. There's still thoughts.
He said it still takes him like 15-20 minutes before he can actually get into his meditation.
Yeah, but even when you get into meditation, you still have thoughts.
No, I know, but it was good to know because it takes me ages as well, and I thought, oh, it's just because I'm new to it. But if he's been doing it 20 years or whatever, and he still needs 20 minutes to get into it. He said sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's longer, but that was good to know. Yeah,
he was talking about like how, in life we were conditioned to do stuff, about going outward, like doing things, reading things, whatever, and we don't turn inward very often. We don't usually take much time to sit down and literally do nothing. It's usually to read a book, be on a phone, be on a laptop, talk to someone, but just to sit and do nothing and just whatever, like be in a moment. That is really hard for people, and we are not conditioned for that. We are not trained for that, and this is causing a lot of trouble and stuff like that in the world. And I enjoyed it because I enjoy meditation.
He was saying as well about how it's hard for people because you kind of got to face your inner demons. You can't really escape it. Like if you sit in silence for an hour, you're gonna start to deal with shit. And I think that's what I struggled with when I started 3 years ago and moved here. Like, we'd do Daybreaker, where it's like yoga, dance, and then meditation at the end, and I would always cry, wouldn't I? And even with the yoga with Michael, like, quite often I would cry, and I think it's just dealing with inner shit. So it's hard to let yourself get there, and I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Well, it's what I said, is that I think a lot of people struggle with meditation because people start meditation when they're into shit. And like, oh, that's going to help. Yeah, it will. But it also means that you're going to be with your own shit. So it's going to be harder. And no one saw like, oh, I'm really happy, I love my life, I'm going to meditate. When actually that maybe should be like the thing that we should do, because it'll be way easier. And have like more like, you know, about gratitude and everything. So when the shit happens, you know how to deal with it. When, yeah, it's helpful when you're going through some complicated time, but it's also harder because, well.
Something that I would like to do is do a video with you talking about, because you've been meditating, what, for 3 years now?
We moved to Miami, so.
Yeah, 3 years. I think it'd be so interesting because Jeremy has changed a lot anyway in the last 10 years, 11 years now since I've known him. But I think especially as well with the meditation.
You always have a good reason to bring me here.
So we'll do another video and talk about meditation with him. What did we do after that? We did a practice.
Yeah, we did a practice.
It was like 50 minutes, so it was a long time, and I'm so glad because I find that Shavasana and meditations that I do, sometimes, like I've done 20-minute meditations, and by the end of the 20 minutes is when my brain is starting to switch off, and then it's like, okay, thanks, have a good day, and I'm like, ah! Like I've just got into that state of...
She was snoring.
Oh, well, I was going to say that. So it takes me like a good 20-30 minutes to actually switch off my brain a little bit and actually just get into me. So I'm glad it was 15 minutes because it meant that for the first 30 minutes I was literally being like, Rosie, you've got to relax. Why are you thinking about cameras? Why are you thinking, stop, oh, actually, which camera do I want to get? Like my brain just goes. It takes me ages to like settle
That's
in.
fine. That's what.
It's not. It's manic though. It's
no,
not.
but yeah, but that's. You're gonna have thoughts. You can't control it.
No, I know that. I've meditated before when I have thoughts and I'm like, hi thought, bye thought, and it just goes.
It's
no, but this is what I have is like, Rosie, you need to meditate. Rosie, why? Stop thinking. Turn your brain off. Shut up. Stop talking. Oh my god, why are you still talking? What are you talking about? Like it's just manic.
Yeah, because so.
I can't switch it off.
But don't get caught up into your thoughts. Don't. You thinking about you thinking is thinking. It's adding on the thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you saying like Rosie, stop thinking. That's thinking.
Yeah.
You're adding on to it on the crap. Like there's crap coming up naturally, and you are adding on the things.
Yeah.
So. Just if you have thoughts, actually just like let them be there. Don't judge the fact that you're having thoughts because you're just adding.
Yeah, well, this is
to
like
the
20
pile.
minutes. I was getting sick of it. I was
you
like,
know what I mean?
Chill out. Yeah. And then eventually I relaxed and ended up falling to sleep. I think twice. I woke myself up snoring twice, so I was definitely asleep.
Oh yeah.
But this is the thing he said to us as well afterwards. Well, I read out some of this book verse thing. I was like, I didn't hear that. I heard him say at some point like. Think about the noises that you can hear, and there was somebody rattling in the corridor, and there was a dog on his screen I could hear, and then I went again. But he left quite long silences, didn't he, in between? We sat in silence for a long time, I think.
I don't know. I didn't see the 50 minutes going. I was totally in my bubble. I didn't hear anything.
What happens when you meditate?
I have no idea what. I can't tell you a word he said. I was out. I have no idea where I was.
I laid down. Jeremy sat for the whole thing. Where were you? What happens when you meditate? Should we leave that? We'll leave that for the video we're going to do about his meditation. What did we do after that?
Just a few questions, and it was lunchtime.
Okay.
Yeah, we just started people share what they felt, what they thought about it. A few questions. Someone asked. Well, we went through one of his blog posts about.
Oh yeah.
Like 7 ways to get into meditation. Something like that. So yeah, we just started a little chat about.
If I remember, I'll leave it linked. And there was another one as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, like 3 levels of meditation, like stillness, something, inquiry.
If I remember, I'll stick it on the screen. And then we had lunch. I didn't sleep for the whole hour this time. I ran my
you had a nap before.
Yeah, I slept during the thing. I ran my mum because it's Mother's Day, which is nice. And then what did we do after lunch?
We practiced for an hour. Well, for like 45 minutes.
Oh,
after the lunch.
One of the groups.
6, 5, 6.
I'll move here so I can stick it here. One of the groups taught us, group 6 taught us their yoga flow. Which is a really nice one, wasn't it? We enjoyed that.
Cool. Pretty different. And then we had the last anatomy teaching with Andrea.
Yeah.
For 3 hours.
Yeah,
what was that about?
She went over the bones and the muscles and things that we've already talked about. And then...
That was like 2 hours ago.
She went over everything we've already talked about in terms of like abduction, things like that. And then she talked to us about, well, at the end it was about the 6 postures. But what was it between there and there? I remember the beginning and the end.
She talked about fascia, she talked about the nervous system.
What did she tell us about fascia?
Well, it's still what we went through with Dennis last time, like just the
it's all connected, it's all
what
in
it
there.
is, and the different like level, like the surface, the deep, the myofascial.
She was telling us to pinch our arms, and we've got very different arms. I've just got a lot of stuff in my arms, whereas Jeremy's just got like skin in his, so we don't really know what, like, is that like the small fascia, or is that the small fascia, or is that the deep fascia because it's fat? Because fascia runs everywhere, it's all 3 fat and 3 bones and 3 ligaments and everything. And then she talked about what?
About joint, about we went through like all the joints and the injuries. The main injuries for each joint and each like main part of the body. And at the end we went through the 6 tricky poses of yoga. Yeah, the tricky 6, she called it.
Which are?
I've got notes.
Chaturanga.
Yeah, and it was like anything like with the shoulder, so like chaturanga or tabletop. Down dog, about like keeping a neutral spine.
Yeah, not looking right up towards.
Well, the first one was Tadasana, about like tilting the pelvis. It was basically like some cue that we usually give, but actually that can be misleading because that can cause some anatomical mistakes. Like when we say to people like tuck your tailbone, if you actually do it too much, you're gonna flatten the spine and you're gonna lose natural curve. Yeah. So like in Tadasana, to be careful with the wording and with what you say, so you don't put people in an unnatural position. So yeah, it was the Tadasana, the down dog,
arms up,
chaturanga, arms up, because so it really was a vocab. It's when you say reach up.
Okay, sorry.
When you say reach up and put your shoulders down.
Yeah.
Like.
Naturally, when you bring your arms up, your shoulder blades move.
So if you try to reach up, your shoulder is gonna go up. So you can't reach up and go down at the same time. So it's put your arms up.
Yeah,
you can put your arms up and bring your shoulder down, but you can't reach up with your shoulder down at the same time. That's just trying to.
Well, and also they say, raise up, but bring your shoulder blades down. Well, when you raise up, your shoulder blades go up as well. They move with your body. So that's kind of what she was saying with that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then back bend, about like using the
inner thigh.
Like not too much, but not
like doing bridge pose. So do bridge pose with the block in between your legs and squeeze your legs and then come up into bridge. And then do it again with a strap and pull your legs together almost and try and with your thighs push out. And then the third time, try and squeeze in but also push out whilst doing bridge pose. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I actually enjoyed that. I felt a lot more like...
Most tricky.
Not tension, but...
Energized.
Yeah. So yeah, as you can tell, it's been a full weekend again. I remember nothing again. Okay, so thank you for watching week 10. I know I'm useless at remembering everything. I'll try harder next week. Next week's going to be the final weekend though.
Yes, something there's going to be much to talk about. You're going to be teaching. You're going to be shitting yourself.
I'm going to have a heart attack.
And there's going to be an exam.
Yeah.
It's a double heart attack.
Oh, I need to read my notes all week and just cram, because obviously we all know my memory's horrendous. So I don't think, well, he said to us a couple of weeks ago it's going to be multiple choice. And then he said like this weekend, it might not be multiple choice. We might just have you answering questions because then we can actually test your knowledge and find out what you actually know. I was like, Anyway, so next weekend's the last one. So stay tuned for that. It's probably going to be eventful. We might celebrate. We might not, depending if we pass or not. Right. You'll pass. I don't know about me. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos if you enjoyed this. I'm going to be teaching yoga as well, hopefully after this, if I pass. So stay tuned so you can practice yoga with me as well. Don't worry, it'll be nice and relaxing. No like crazy yoga. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.